Today we have lovely colleagues from India, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and from Europe such as France and British. Good afternoon for you. And we also have colleagues from the United States of America, Mexico, and Argentina. I know it's quite early in the morning now, so thanks for coming and welcome all of you. Before we start, we have some tips for you. So first, please keep muted while the session is in process. And we have 10 minutes Q&A parts for each topic. And please make sure you are in a safe environment and do not share the slide of today's section. And do remember revise your name of the Zoom, revise your username into your real name. In today's session, we have 3 topics. At first, we are honored to invite Ken Xu, our Vice President, Director of Indian Region and Delivery Division, to give you an introduction of Envision. So let's welcome Mr. Xu.
Thank you. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for all of you, wherever you are. Before we start, maybe a little bit about myself. My name is Ken Xu. I'm the Global Vice President, leading the Delivery Division. And I'm the P&L owner for all the energy business outside China, so which means turbine, energy storage, and green hydrogen. I joined the Envision for about 5 years ago. And before that, I spent about 8 years in Honeywell, served as their Asia Pacific Vice President. Then I was, before that, spent about 2 years in a mining company called the Anglo American. Before I was spent about 10 years in General Electric on the power generation segment, so which is include gas turbine, steam turbine, nuclear, as well as the renewable. So again, welcome all of you to join Envision. And I think this slide is particularly for us to share with you what is our vision and what we do. So we never saw ourselves as a product company. We are the service provider. We're the partner to the government, to the enterprises, and our customers. And we are mainly focusing the carbon neutralization based on the turbine, based on the energy storage, and other, for example, the battery and the iOS stuff, to help our client to meet their target in terms of carbon neutralization, at the same time gain the financial benefit when they put their investment together. So moving to the next slide, please. This is a very exciting slides. And I always want to highlight when Envision started at 16 years ago, which is 2007, the very first office we set up outside China is in the Silkeborg, Denmark, at the same time, same year. So which means our strategic focus is really put ourselves as an international company from day one. So if you look at today, in the past decades, with all the efforts from your peers, we are very happy to have our R&D center and the factory operations basically across the world and across our business units. So you can see we have majority of our operation on the turbine side is mainly focused in China, but we have the turbine manufacturing in India, in Pune, and we are going to have our new turbine manufacturing facilities in Saudi. The same thing, if you look at because this slide is more the offices plus the R&D center. So you can see based on the energy storage as well as the battery business, we have quite a bit new expansion across the Europe. You can see the center of operations in France, in UK, and also the in German and in Japan. Okay, next slide. So this is the manufacturing footprint. As I said, we are very excited to announce about 18 months ago our new expansion in Spain, in UK, in France, particularly on the battery side. And we are going to continue our investment in India on the wind turbine side. We are going to set up our second battery manufacturing in the US, in South Carolina. We most recently announced our next factory in I believe in Kentucky. On top of what we already have, a huge expansion on the energy storage side in China, in Wuxi. So if you look at this, basically we are have a huge operation assets in Asia, in Europe, in North America. Don't feel disappointed if you currently sit in Australia, if you sit in South America, if you sit in Africa. Those are the areas that we're currently in the consideration based on the business case development. So I hope with the efforts of all of you, we are going to put some new dots in. Which means the new operation base in those areas. Next slide. So this is actually the 4 major business units current Envision Group have, right? Myself actually is coming from Envision Energy. So we basically run the operations of turbine, energy storage, and the green hydrogen. We have counterparts in the battery side, which is on the EV, basically the EV batteries they are primarily focused, and also they build the battery for the energy storage. Then we have world's largest new renewable energy operating system on this platform called the ENOS. So we own this IoT called the Envision Digital, which is headquartered in Singapore. And then last but not least, we have our own venture capital, so leads the global investment, particularly on the green tech. Okay, next. So this is something I think we are pretty proud. We have a lot of, let's say, recognition from the different community. So if you look at the, we are the ranked by MIT Technology Review. We are the top 10 smartest company in China back in 2019, and we by Fortune magazine, we actually the number 2 company changing the world. Guess who is the number 1? Actually, number 1 is everybody, is who fight for the COVID back in 2021. So we are the number 2. So we are very honored to have those recognition, and we feel very privileged to work in this company with all the colleagues like you. Next slide. Our commitment to the carbon neutralization is very serious and very aggressive. So last year, we actually already achieved the carbon neutralization in our Envision's own operation. In the next 5 years, which is 2028, we are going to achieve the carbon neutralization in our entire value chain. So from the upstream to the downstream. So we are very committed. We've been very serious, put a huge investment into this initiative, and we are going to be very proud to see our results, hopefully even before 2028, to achieve this very aggressive target. Next one. This is our client. You can see all these pretty much famous global branding from different industry. You can see the people from the traditional industry like SKF, like EDF, and also the real estate management people like Kaplan, like JLL. We have see the traditional power company like SPIC, like Datang. We see the car company like Mercedes, and we even see fast consumers like people like Nike. They all our partners and work with us on this the common direction moving to the carbon neutralization. Next. From Spain, the head of Singapore, Macron. So all these people are very much supported in public about the vision and about our vision, our commitment to change the world. Next. This is actually a very core slides about our strategy. So basically, we have focused on what we call the new industry, which if I don't want to read the slide, but you can see that, right? Those are the we recognize as a new industry, and also the new infrastructure compared with the traditional infrastructure, and together by the new coal, new oil, and the new grid, which I'm going to explain a little bit more in the next few slides. Next. On the new coal particularly. Next. Yeah, so we're basically starting from design, sell, and operating our smart turbine and our smart energy storage system, as well as the green hydrogen. So if you look at the numbers, we already have installed a capacity for more than 550 gigawatts across the world on the turbine. We have 15 gigawatt hour of the energy storage system on the run. So that is, I would say, very significant number, and I'm very excited to have all of you to join us for this winning team. And this year, we are going to deliver about, this year alone, we are going to deliver about
40 gigawatts to our client, which is going to make us number one in the world on the wind segment. Okay, next. Yeah, this gives you a little bit flavor about our current install base as well as the project in the pipeline. So if you see this center of the chart, China obviously is the biggest install base. We have more than 40 gigawatts installed capacity, and we have 40 gigawatts in our pipeline. And the next, for example, Finland, we have 1.19 gigawatt installed. We have 400 megawatts in our pipeline. On the India, another very good story. We installed almost 1 gigawatts now. We still have 3.2 gigawatts in the pipeline, waiting for some of you in this call to deliver. And the same thing on the Saudi Middle Asia. I don't want to read those numbers, but again, those numbers is being achieved by your colleagues. Now it's the time for you to join us to make this number even more successful across this map. And I hope there's more successful projects being added to this footprint map. Next. This is a little bit on the digital twin side. This is basically what we, how do we differentiate ourselves among our competitors? So we're basically using the Galileo digital twin, using model-based wind turbine to do the analysis on everything from predict the weather, towards the predicted power generation, or even predicted the life cycle of those components when they need to do the overhaul, when we need to do the some O&M. This will give us a significant advantage compared with our competitors. Next. Same thing on energy storage. Our system is more reliable. If you look at the track records, the safety performance is one of the best we have. And on the cost-wise, we also have a huge advantage. And our new liquid cooling storage systems is going to really deliver super performance to our client. Next. This is for our digital team. If you look at that on the bottom of this slide, those are the applications we are currently use, right? From the wind, solar storage, water, gas, hydrogen, and other applications. And using a common platform called the ENOs. And then we develop the upper level operation apps. You can see the different names and the different functions on top of it. So it's covering from the design towards the project, towards the construction, to the running and the assets management across the board. So this is really give, I would say, significant competitive advantage to our clients. Next. So what I just talked about is basically the new coal. Now it's the new oil. It's more towards the consumer side, and as well as some gray side. It's somehow like oil, but it's new revolution of the oil. Next. So on the Envision AESC, actually is coming from the older name called the Nissan AESC. We acquired that business back in 2019 with their super safety records, 800,000 vehicles, 0 accident, and we are tier 1 global battery manufacturing recognized by some rating agency, and global capacity, as I mentioned in some previous slides, we significantly increase their manufacturing capacity across the world to meet today's, let's say, explosive demand on those EVs. So we are going to reach 400 gigawatt hour in terms of the capacity in next 4 years. Okay, and all majority of it is powered by green electricity. So which means the electricity is mainly coming from the wind turbine. Next. And this is our IoT technology, fully capable and enable our value proposition. If you look at the 4 quadrant, so from service towards the recycle, towards the charging, so everything is connected and operating by the ENOS. It's one-stop shop to our let's say individual consumers towards the OEMs like a Mercedes, like a BMW, and that's part of the reason why they select us. Next. Yeah, this is some our global clients in the auto industry. So there's a famous name like a Mercedes, BMW, Renault, Nissan, and there's also some name like Honda, Mazda, those companies. So we have roughly about more than 1,000 gigawatt orders in our backlog or waiting for the delivery. So I'm very excited to see those factories up and running so we can quickly fulfill our commitment to our clients. Next. Yeah, this is basically what we offer on the green hydrogen. We started from the green energy supply towards the green electricity system to separate the air to the different
So this is the 5 new strategy we have. And I believe we touched a little bit on the new grid on the ENOS. There's something more we can see next. Yeah, basically we're using the ALT to define our net zero world using those smart and intelligent equipment to power our client, and then the same thing on the infrastructure, all connected by EOS. And now it's more than 200 million devices and 560 gigawatts assets globally is running on this system. I believe it's the #1 biggest assets running in this ENOS system. Next. Yeah, this is some of the numbers you can see. Okay, from the energy side, we are running about 21% of the global renewable capacity in these assets, and there's more than 360, and plus those different device model and the different service provider on this system. So it's all, I would say, we acquire tons and tons of the data, and we're using AI to help ourselves to improve our efficiency and the reliability to our client. Next. And this is it's more based on the SaaS model, and it's more I would say accepted our client than the traditional software setting business model. So it's basically the one-stop shop and one-stop configuration. It's going to be very easy to be used by our client from the management perspective towards their renewable assets, monitoring, analytic, forecast, optimization, and even do the schedule the O&M. Next. So it's the same thing on the city level. We actually help the Singapore on this smart city, help them to enable the entire infrastructure into this ENOS system to help them to do the maximize their efficiency and significantly reduce their cost. Next. And this is the system we developed to help our client for the end-to-end carbon management. So from the monitoring towards the data collection and find a way to help them to offset the carbon footprint. So there's a lot of stuff behind the screen and done by the team in the back room and eventually help our client to achieve their carbon neutralization. Because in the management as well, you got what you measured, right? So we have this system to help our client to measure their hard carbon footprint. It's definitely a good tool to help them, not from enable standpoint, but really help them to neutralize the carbon. Next. On the infrastructure side, is going to be shown in the next few slides. Yeah, this is some numbers. Actually, we have very successful demonstration industrial park in the Mongolia. We using work very closely with the local government to develop this industrial park to utilize the land generated green power to create the job opportunity and to transformation those traditional energy into green energy to eventually help our upstream and downstream into the same industrial park. So it's let's say triple win situation. It's win from our customer and our supplier. It's the win from the local government, and obviously it's also the win from Next.